everybody. Myself Jyoti Mayekar, and let's start with the another lecture from the nuclear physics, particularly on radioactivity. So today we are going to talk about basically about the application of radioactivity, that is carbon dating. So there are certain radioactive isotopes existing in a nature possessing very short half-lives which are formed by artificial transmutation. They are helium with a half-life period of 12.4 years and C14, etc. Atmospheric air contains CO2 gas in an appreciable amount. Since C14 is radioactive, it has been used to determine the age of the Earth. These short lived isotopes are being produced continuously when the cosmic rays from extraterrestrial origin reacts with the atmospheric air. Atomic nuclei and protons are the main constituents of the cosmic rays. Due to the disintegration of atomic nuclei, neutrons are formed which slow down at the lower atmosphere. So basically, if we talk in terms of equations, see, these neutrons react with nitrogen nuclei of gaseous nitrogen present in the atmosphere. Thus, heavier isotope of nitrogen is formed. This in turn later transformed into a heavy isotope of carbon and a proton as shown in the following equation. So basically what is happening here, we have 7 and 14. It reacts with the neutron. It gives 7 and 15 which is unstable. So we get 6C14 and a proton. 6C14, it is a radioactive isotope of carbon. The isotope of carbon C14 is highly radioactive. It has half-life of the order of 5600 years and it emits beta radiations by this reaction. 6C14, it gives 7 and 14 plus beta negative plus antineutrino. Whenever there are beta rays, emission of beta rays, it is always accompanied with antineutrino. So if you have negative beta decay, then antineutrino is there. If you have positive beta decay, then you have neutrino. So you have to remember this. So thus in course of time, the formation of C14 and its decay attains an equilibrium and is always present in the nature. As a result of this equilibrium, the concentration of C14 and C12 is in constant ratio present in the atmosphere in the full form of CO2. Since all plants, now how this thing is used in case of finding out the age of wooden samples. Since all plants use carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for their growth, they contain C14. That means all plants, they are radioactive in nature because they contain C14, and it must be equilibrium with C14 in the atmosphere. So plants, as they are taking CO2 from the atmosphere, they also have C14, and in the atmosphere also there is C14. Since C14 is radioactive, all the plants are slightly radioactive. When a plant dies, no additional C14 is absorbed in, because if a plant dies, it will not absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So when a plant dies, no additional C14 is absorbed in, but C14 present within the plant tissue that will start decaying exponentially with respect to the stable C12. So relative amount of C14 and C12 we can measure, and thus the age of an archaeological sample can be determined, and this technique, it is called as carbon dating technique. So when a plant dies, no additional C14 is absorbed. Suppose if X0 is the ratio of C14 to C12 in a living cell of a plant. So what we are going to do, we will take ratio of C14 to C12 in living cell of a plant and same ratio in case of a dead plant. If X0 is the ratio of C14 to C12 in living cell of a plant and X stands for the same ratio but in dead cell of a plant, then according to the law of disintegration, we can write X equals to X0 e raised to minus lambda c into T, where lambda c, it is the decay constant of C14 and T is the time lapse from the time of death of a living cell. So if you rearrange this equation, you will get this equation: T equals to 1 upon lambda c log of X0 upon X. Thus, carbon dating, it provides a very sensitive method of dating. That means you can find out the age of wooden sample with the help of carbon dating technique. That is the application of radioactivity. Thank you so much. If you like my video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.